Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna. Here basically we are discussing one of the topic, that is Apple creation basically. In this basically we are going to discuss basically the future data basically. Hence this is basically the city creation topic which is ongoing. So one of the person asked the question basically. One of the person asked the question basically that future basically data is what actually? Future data means what basically? One of the person asked the question basically, what is future data? One of the person told that basically what actually the future data is basically. Few people told that basically future data means whatever things basically which is going to happen, whatever things basically which is going to happen, and the things basically which we are going to create basically in future. And future basically data says that also basically that who will be your next generation. Then future data basically says that also basically that who will be your wife, who will be your child. That is basically the future data. So who basically creates that basically? Few people says that basically city creation going to happen basically. That basically decides what is the future basically going to happen basically. So one of the person told that basically assume that basically future data basically contains this data, that is which city going to create basically. So one of the person told that basically here now future data is Apple creation equal to contains future data and which is going to city going to create basically. That basically is the future data basically, right? And that is basically going to generate by the vitamin C. So vitamin C basically is containing what basically? This basically city which is going to create basically, that basically is going to create vitamin C data basically. One of the person told that basically vitamin C basically is going to contain what basically? Vitamin C is basically going to contain what? So one of the person told that vitamin C basically can be created by this data basically and this data basically. Few people says that basically the blast data basically which we are creating basically, that basically vitamin A basically is going to create. Vitamin C basically is going to create what? City creation future data basically. That is this city is going to create, this area going to create. So entire city area basically I am talking about. What even the water basically which is going to be used in that city basically, that is going to be created from vitamin C basically. So you can just imagine the medical industry has, that's why basically the medical industry is at the top number one basically. And one of the person told that basically BCom people basically we can't take basically. Few people told that basically we don't take the BCom people basically in the software industry basically. So this is that see basically.
Blast is going to happen in which place? कोणत्या ठिकाणी स्फोट होणार आहे?
So see basically now I am applying for the job basically again. So see basically. One of the person told that basically you don't apply for the job here basically. See basically. Project head basically we are applying. Vice president basically. But vice president is very high level post basically. So we will do one thing, we will apply for some normal post basically. We will apply for industrial automation. So see the business thing requirement basically. See the description. One of the person told that why you are showing basically this basically. Then that also basically we are going to discuss basically. And I will apply my job also basically. In this basically two things basically will happen. One basically is I will apply my job also, and I will explain basically in practical format basically that what actually everything basically it's connecting basically. So applied. So applied. So Naukri.com basically I applied. So see.
Blast is going to happen in which place? कोणत्या ठिकाणी स्फोट होणार आहे?
So that topic is basically done. Now basically city creation. Cities creation. data.
Cities creation data. शहरे निर्माण डेटा.
Shahre Nirman data basically. That was Marathi, basically. So one of the person told that basically where the city is going to create basically. That also basically you can say basically. Yes, basically they can do that basically from vitamin C data basically you can generate that also basically. So you can just imagine basically the world basically has reached and the medical groups basically have taken the entire control basically. That's the medical industry basically. They takes that basically they say that basically we have taken the entire control basically. But other side basically is this also. That is the army group and the mafia group basically. One of the person told that a mafia group or army group both are same basically. Both are doing same duty and basically. They are basically finishing the city only basically. They are finishing the city basically. And these groups basically are creating the city basically. One of the person told that these groups are basically creating the city basically. One of the person told that मैं हम तो भाई आर्मी वालों को बोलते हैं कि दे आर बेसिकली गुड. दे आर गुड बेसिकली. दे आर गुड बेसिकली. वी आर नॉट टेलिंग बेसिकली दे आर नॉट गुड बेसिकली. फ्यू पीपल सेज दैट डॉक्टर्स ग्रुप यार बेसिकली कौन है यार ये लोग बेसिकली. Then one of the person told that doctors basically are saving the life basically, right? But the medicine creation basically group says that basically we are basically into vitamin C creation basically. From this medicine basically we are creating the vitamin C data basically. Vitamin C data basically we are creating basically. And vitamin C basically contains this data also and this data also. So one of the person told that depends upon the which blood group basically are eating the vitamin C data basically. And which blood group basically are eating the vitamin A data, which is going to generate blast data basically, which is going to generate city creation data and city end data. So one of the person told that basically the Gaza basically city basically, Gaza basically country basically which was ended basically, that data was already prepared basically. Then one of the person told that yes basically that was already prepared basically by the power company and the nuclear power company and the energy company and the software company also basically, who collected the data basically. That comes to data science project basically. So one of the person told that nowadays basically to become the project manager is also very dangerous stuff basically, because you should know basically which project you are doing basically. We should know basically which project you are doing. You are collecting which data basically. One of the person basically told that, do you know basically there is one company basically that is NIQ basically in Vadodara city, that is Nelson Group basically. Nelson company basically in Vadodara basically. So we will first see basically what actually Nelson do basically. So for that basically I will go to YouTube basically what actually Nelson do. See the time also. Nelson software company, or basically we can say NIQ software company in Vadodara basically. So see basically. See fun day basically. See Friday fun day.
More fire coming to gun Babylon. More fire bring them one by one. More fire coming to more fire coming to more fire. More fire.
So this is basically Nelson. So this was basically Nelson basically. So he basically tells that basically we know the data basically of the future data basically, that is city creation. Few people say that basically vibrant data basically he might be knowing basically. Just telling, just taking as an example, basically really basically it might be having that basically I don't know basically. He might be having the data also basically, and he might not be having. So this data also basically might be having, this data also basically might be having. So that's very dangerous basically. So in next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about the NIQ basically, that is Nelson Group basically data.